Dear students, let us discuss about transportation in plants today. Have you ever wondered the mechanism of transport of water and food in plants? We have a heart, the muscular pump to transport nutrients in our body. But plants do not have a heart. They do not have a pump for transporting water and food. In small plants, the water has to be lifted to a small distance. But in plants such as sequoia, the tallest tree, the water has to be lifted to 80 to 120 meters high. So which pump can lift the water to such a great height? Sequoia is the tallest tree, having a height of 80 to 120 meters. The diameter of the trunk is about 9 meters or 30 feet. The thickness of the bark is 3 feet and the lifespan is 3,500 years. The trunk is so huge in such a way that a tunnel is made and the vehicles pass through it. Soil is the nearest and richest source of raw materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, and other minerals for plants. The absorption of these substances occur through roots. If the distance between roots and leaves is less, energy and raw materials can be easily transported by diffusion to all parts of the plant. But if the distance between roots and leaves is high, diffusion alone cannot transport raw materials and energy. Plants have a large proportion of dead cells in many tissues. So plants have a low energy needs and can use relatively a slow transport system. There are two pathways for transport of materials. One is transport of water and minerals obtained from the soil to other parts through xylem. The other is transport of food from leaves to other parts of the plant through phloem. The vessels and tracheids of the roots, stem, and leaves are interconnected to form a continuous system of water conducting channels reaching all parts of the plant. Now let us discuss the physical forces involved in transportation. Imbibition. Imbibition is a type of diffusion where the water is absorbed by the solid particles without forming a solution, causing an enormous increase in volume. Diffusion. Diffusion is a movement of molecules of a substance from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Osmosis. Osmosis is a movement of water molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane until an equilibrium is reached. Cohesion. The attractive force between the molecules of water in the xylem is called cohesion. This helps to maintain a continuous column of water in the xylem. Adhesion. The attractive force between the water column and wall of the xylem is called adhesion. This prevents break in water column and air blocks in xylem. Root pressure. Root pressure is a hydrostatic pressure developed in the root cells that pumps the water into the xylem elements to a certain height. The effect of root pressure in transport of water is more important at night as stomata are closed. Transpiration. The loss of water in the form of water vapor through the stomata of the leaves is called transpiration. This plays an important role in the transport of water and minerals. This creates a force of suction or pull called transpiration pull. It helps in the absorption and upward movement of water and minerals from roots to the leaves. During the day, transpiration pull becomes a major driving force in the movement of water in the xylem as the stomata are open. It also helps in temperature regulation or cooling of the plant. Dear students, now let us discuss the mechanism of transport of water. Transpiration pull. Transport of water occurs through vessels and trachea's of xylem. Root hairs of the plants are in direct contact with the water in the soil particles. So the cells of the roots actively take up ions from the soil. This creates a difference in the concentration of these ions between the root and the soil. Therefore, water enters the roots through root hairs and maintains a continuous column of water in the xylem of the root and stem. The water deficit caused in leaf cells due to transpiration creates a suction or transpiration pull in the xylem of leaves, which pumps the water upward. Transport of water is unidirectional. The magnitude of transpiration pull is sufficient to lift the water column to any heights, even in tallest trees. Transpiration pull can create a pressure sufficient to lift a xylem-sized column of water over 130 meters high. The rate of flow of water through the xylem in plants can reach up to 15 meters per hour. Mechanism of transport of food. Transport of food in plants. The transport of food from leaves in the form of sucrose by phloem is called translocation. Besides sucrose, the phloem also transports amino acids and other substances. These substances are delivered to the storage organs such as roots, fruits, seeds, and other growing organs. The translocation of food and other substances takes place through sieve tubes with the help of companion cells both in upward and downward directions. So transport of food is bidirectional. The translocation of food by phloem requires energy in the form of ATP. The mechanism involved in the translocation of sugars from leaves to other parts is known as pressure flow hypothesis. Glucose produced in the leaves during photosynthesis is converted to sucrose. The sucrose enters the phloem by using energy in the form of ATP. This produces a hypertonic condition in the phloem. So water from the adjacent xylem enters the phloem by osmosis. As osmotic pressure becomes high in the phloem, the sucrose moves to the areas of low pressure. Transport of food is bidirectional. Now you can watch the animation of transport of water in plants. Now you can watch the animation of transport of food in plants. I hope you had a joyful learning and enjoyed watching this video. Thank you. God bless you.